What up, Twizz fam? Welcome to another episode of Conventional Settings, where I take a break from music and I share with you my other interests, including comic books, gaming, and technology altogether. This week, I'm going to be discussing one of my favorite comic book characters that you may know as Gwenpool. So before I get into Gwenpool, let me just start off by saying at first it took a while for me to actually get into her, for her to really appeal to me, because I was reluctant at first. Now, if anyone who knows me personally, they know that my favorite comic book characters of all time are Wade Wilson, Jubilation Lee, Wally West, and Scott Pilgrim. And of course, we cannot forget the king himself.
I'm Peter, by the way.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, you're using your made-up names. Then I am Spider-Man.
Now, it did take me a while to get into her at first because I'm not really a fan of spin-off characters. By spin-off characters, I mean anyone who takes over the mantle of a current superhero or character, or someone who's basically just a copy of the original character that just has their same powers, skill sets, name, and just overall persona. What are you talking about? You're not a fan of spin-off characters. Doesn't make any sense. You're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Oh, you list Wally West. He's the third Flash. Okay, slow your roll there, millennials. I said I'm not a huge fan. I didn't say I was against it altogether. But I will make a separate video about that altogether, but not to get into it too much. Yeah, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't, or most times I don't. Again, another good example of a situation or a character that, you know, a spin-off character that I do like is Wally West, where it's done properly, it makes sense, it's not lazy, and yeah, they continue their legacy of the original character, the mantle of that original character, without completely crapping over them. And yeah, Gwenpool, I'm like, really? Like, what are they doing with Gwen Stacy now? Like, I don't. But in recent years, I did actually start to give it a chance, and I love it. Full pun intended. I was proven wrong after I metaphorically and literally judged the book by its cover. Gwenpool, like, really, like, she's another member of the Deadpool Corps, or she's a clone or something like that. Totally wrong.
That's me! You said my name! I get an episode?
So, for those that don't know, Gwenpool has nothing to do with Deadpool at all. I mean, certain things here and there, yeah, her costume, yeah, her name technically, but that's pretty much it. And she's not even Gwen Stacy. Her name is Gwendolyn Ann. I can never pronounce her full name correctly. Anyway. So Gwen is actually a character from our world, or the real world, who is a fan of comic books just like you, me, or anyone else, and she actually gets sucked in to the Marvel comic book universe. I guess another thing that she has in common with Deadpool is she knows she's in a comic book and breaks the whole fourth wall. And that's pretty much her superpower. She doesn't have any strength, can't fly, no x-ray vision, can't stick to walls, but her power is she knows everything that's around her. Everyone's backstory, everyone's secret identity, both heroes and villains. Pretty much any geek's knowledge of what we know from the books, she knows with that. And she uses it as a tactic of hers. And yeah, you can argue like, oh yeah, she's pretty much just like Deadpool, but no, she can't really regenerate or have a healing factor like that. And the thing with Deadpool is he does break the fourth wall, but still at a lot of times he still sticks with certain rules and continuity of, I guess, the comic book norm. And there's certain rules that he can't break, or he doesn't even know that he can break. But yeah, Gwen just takes that to a whole new level. And yeah, I just love the fact that she's just a character that, like, you can really, really relate to. Like, that's why I love the characters I listed before. Even though as diverse as they all are in terms of looks and powers, they all pretty much have that same aspect of, you know, somewhat of relatability that I sense in them, or I get with them, which is something I love when I'm reading, and reading certain stories and just want to take a break from life in the real world. And yeah, Gwen is pretty much the living embodiment of, you know, that. She goes into a world that we kind of all wish that we can go into, and she just manipulates it to the best of her ability, and it's amazing. She knows what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. She even reads current or even past comic book storylines within the comic herself, including like Secret Wars and stuff like that. Fun fact, the creator even said that she's not even a Deadpool fan, or at least not really. But yes, the unbelievable Gwenpool, I totally recommend it. Unfortunately, her solo series is canceled, but I am putting out hope that it will return. You know, there are a lot of things that are coming back. Some cool, some we could have went without with that. But I recommend it. Again, one of those characters where it just takes the whole funness of reading a comic book and just exploring superheroes to just another level that's never really been done before. Yeah, Gwen, you have peeked into the top rankings of my all-time faves, so thank you, ma'am.